Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm back. I did not realize it's been 3 weeks. Oh my goodness. So we are going to use basic gray knee highs. So that was a fun one to use. Okay, so I can't believe it's been 3 weeks, you guys. It has been stressful, crazy at my house. And Tim and okay, so let me start from the beginning. So Tim and I, we went to, or no, my mom and Cheyenne and I, we'll start with us first. We went to Universal and we had a blast. We had a total and complete blast, you guys. We did all the rides at Universal. I didn't go on maybe 2 of them, and the girls did. So we went on every single ride. We were there from, I think, 8 or 9, I think it was 8 or 9 in the morning, and when they opened. And then we were there till 10. But we had a blast. Oh my gosh, you guys. It was so amazing. It was just, you know, like, good for our souls. Good for just, you know, it was 3 generations having a blast. And we pushed my mom in her wheelchair because she still has a bum knee and stuff. So so that wasn't too bad because Shai did most of the pushing, but it was the only way that we could do the whole day with my mom. And and it was great. We just had a blast. We really did. And I can't wait to show you the pictures. We took a gazillion and it was just awesome, you guys. I would love to do it again sometime with my parent or with my mom, and not my dad. My dad's a grumpy pants. But my mom, you know, my mom is pretty much game for anything, and she has no cares, and she is the epitome of just someone who just wants to have fun. Doesn't get offended, doesn't do any of that. She just wants to have fun. And we did. That was the goal, and we did, and awesome. So, okay. So this is this is Dory. Oh my gosh. This is Tim's leg right here. That's his foot. And then there's Ash in between Tim's legs. And then there was a pillow right here because I was laying on it for a minute. And not by Tim's feet, but it was, I don't know how to explain the position. But anyway, so then the pillow stayed up a little bit and Dory fell asleep like that. I moved, of course, probably went potty, came back, lost my spot. And that was just the cutest thing ever. And bulldogs are amazing, you guys. They really are. They're just so cool and amazing. And, well, then Tim and I think a week later or so, maybe a week later, we went to Disneyland. Okay, so Tim and I went to Disneyland. No, actually, we didn't go to Disneyland. We went to Disney's California Adventure. And what sucked was we fly to LA. We're in Northern California, and we are about 6 to 7 hours away, depending on traffic, from Los Angeles, from Anaheim. So it's easier for us to fly, and pretty much we're old and we don't want to drive anymore. We did the driving, 28 years of driving, you know. We just, Highway 5, we're just tired of it. And so it's just easier, and honestly it's cheaper for us to fly because it's just me and him. And Southwest always has those deals, you know, $50 one way, you know, that kind of thing. So $200, we get to fly over there. And you know what? We don't have a new car. Our car is going to be, I think, 10 this year. And then, so we would need to rent a car. So then you got the cost of renting a car. Then you have the cost of, let me move this over here. And then we have the cost of gas. Then you have the cost of the insurance that you have to, you know, purchase. And so it's just, it all adds up. And so it's just cheaper for us to fly. And so we fly. And sometimes we fly up for just the day. And that works for us. We head on out 8 in the morning. We get there at 9. And then we play for until about 4. And then we get a flight back home about 5, and we're home by 6 or 7 because it's an hour to get here. What is wrong with you? And so do I have another one in here? No, I don't. So it just so I haven't used this stuff in so long, you guys, that it's jamming, even though the needle's been in it forever. Doesn't matter. So anyway, so then but this day we decided, we did the road trip, right? Because my new friend Rita, she told me about the Anaheim store. Oh my god, you guys, that's going to drive me insane. And so we flew to LA, but then we ended up having a flight. We ended up having like a 4-hour flight delay, and we even had to land in LAX, and it was just so frustrating. So we were supposed to get there at 8:20 in the morning. We got there like at 12:30 or so. It was so stupid. It was so like dejecting because we had plans. We had plans for the day, you know, like right when we got there, we were going to go to breakfast and then go to that place. Oh, there, see, I got it. We were going to go to the fabric store, and it just, our whole time got delayed and delayed and delayed, and it was just so aggravating, and it was just ridiculous. And so it almost felt, you guys, because they were saying, well, it's because LA Orange has too much fog, and we can't legally land in so much fog. There has to be so much space. So this is the back of our bedroom door. My husband has a powerful magnet that holds this gun on our back of our bedroom door, and it's hilarious. It makes me laugh so hard, but he loves looking at it. And so I'm like, you know, I'm not 2 years old. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to play with the game with the gun. So it stays up there. Tim has slammed the heck out of the door, and it will not fall off. It has a powerful magnet on it, and so it's just. And when we have the dog sitter over, he puts it back in the safe. So everybody is safe. So I'm just telling you right now, our house is completely secure. So, so yeah, so it almost felt, and we're like looking, and it was like, okay, this doesn't feel right. We were circling in the air, you guys, for like 2 hours, like literally circling in the air, and it's only 45 minutes to get to Anaheim in the airplane, or the Orange. And we were circling and circling and circling, and we're like, man, why does this feel like Die Hard, you know? Why does it feel like Die Hard 2? And it was just like, this feels wrong. And so then we got into LAX, and they had, okay, let me tell you guys this. They had the fire department, and I think it was 2 fire departments like next to our plane, and I'm like waiting for us, and I'm pretty sure something happened, but they don't want to tell you. They just want to say it's fog. But I think something happened, you guys, honestly, because there was the fire engine and like a police car, and it was just like, what in the world is going on? So they didn't know how long we were going to be in LAX for. So some people got off and they went to go drive, you know, rent a car and drive, or Uber to Anaheim. And Anaheim from LAX is about 45 minutes. It's about a 45-minute drive. This is a quilt I made, you guys. And it's actually on my Instagram now, so that's on there, so you can see it closer on there. Ooh, wow, I can speak. And so, yeah, wasn't that fishy? And then when we land, we leave an hour after being in LAX for an hour. We leave. We stayed on the plane. We waited. And then we get to Orange, and there's no fog, you guys, whatsoever. It is like clear as day. And we were like, and I told Tim, I go, you know what? I just have this feeling that something happened on the plane with the passenger, or the plane itself. So that was kind of weird. Really, really weird. And yeah, so I don't know. We'll never know because they will not tell you. And so, but I did file a complaint because they say if your flight has any delays from 3 hours, it has to be 3 hours, then you will get compensated for that. And it could be a flight credit of like 50 bucks. So I put a complaint in, and I'm like, it ruined our day. It really did. It ruined our day. We had so many plans to go visit certain areas and do certain things, and it was ruined. And so, and you know, we weren't rude to the flight attendants or anything like that. Nothing like that. But what I am going to do is file a complaint on an email and let them know that, you know, this was not, you know, this was ridiculous. And, especially because, and then they said, well, we need a refuel in LAX. And I told Tim, this is another quilt I made that same week, and this one will be on Instagram tomorrow, and or maybe the next day, because I got to put this PLA out tomorrow. I'm gonna upload it tomorrow, not tonight. And tonight is Monday night. And the other thing that happened too is that they said, oh, we're gonna stop in LAX so we can refuel. And I'm like, wait a minute. That plane, remember guys, I wanted to be a cop. And so, being a detective, I'm a really, really good detective, honestly. And when I put my mind to it, I can be, I really find out a lot of stuff. And so, I'm a wannabe. And never has been, but a wannabe. And the other thing too is they said they needed refuel, and I'm like, wait a minute. I said that airplane was there when we got there at 6:30 in the morning, you know, at the airport. That airplane was already there. So it had been there overnight. Now, how can that same airplane, okay, follow me. How can that same airplane go nonstop to Florida, a 5-hour flight, nonstop, not getting fueled? But we get in the air, and yeah, we're circling around for 2 hours, but now we have to refuel? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So I really think something happened with the passenger or with the plane. And so yeah, so anyway, so that was my theory, and then I complained and I got some money back, so that was cool. So now I got to rebook. Now I got to rebook for us, Tim and I, to fly. I mean, I'm still going to fly. So we're going to go back to, hopefully, Disneyland. We never went to Disneyland. We only went to California Adventure. So, because we did the Food and Wine Festival, you guys. I think I remember telling you that we've never done the Food and Wine Festival. This is the pattern I bought, and I made that quote. But this is the pattern I bought, and Kit Kat was looking. This is, I think we are one more layout. Week 34 is the week she died. This is week 33. Ooh, okay, we're done. And so, yeah, so then she, and so anyways, what was I telling you? Oh, so we did the Food and Wine Festival, and that, Tim and I, we love sharing. We love picking something and sharing, and it was magical. And we had 12 tabs, and I think I told you before, we've never had money to do that. We've never ever been able to do the Food and Wine Festival. Plus, I'm not a drinker. I wasn't. And I'm not a wine drinker either, and so I didn't, you know, I always thought it was more wine than anything. I didn't understand what it was because, you know, we couldn't afford it anyway, so why would I care? And so, but we did look into it finally. You know, you watch all the videos and all that fun stuff, and then they say that you get all these different foods, right? And we watched all the YouTube videos, and we were like getting a game plan of like, okay, we want to try that. Okay, not that, you know. Based off some of the YouTubers' reactions on the food, it was like, no, we don't want to waste our stub on that. So, but we ended up eating really well. Of course, it's not organic, so like I said, you guys, I'm back to being tired. I'm back to hurting and all that good stuff, but I will be back to organic only pretty soon. This party, okay, so yeah, anyways, we had a great time, Food and Wine Festival. I don't know if we'll ever do it again. I don't know if we will. But we enjoyed it. You know, it was our first time and we enjoyed it. So there is that, and I got tons of pictures. So 3 weeks ago, you guys. So 3 weeks ago, I I was telling you that Cheyenne was going to be graduating here pretty soon. She graduates this Friday, you guys. When I upload this tomorrow, will be Tuesday the 25th. And she, last Friday, you guys, we did not know this, but no, Monday. Yeah, it was Monday of last week. So she ended up having a test. And you can fail a test and but you only have one shot, you know, so you only get 2 times to try and pass it. Well, Cheyenne had failed 2 tests in her academy at one point or whatever. And so she So that's why I don't put these down right away, but I think it's too late. But it might not be because they feel, this kind of sticker feels different. Okay, and so we did not know what kind of stress she was under because she was really, you know, doing really well hiding all of it. But we were not aware that she had Monday. And if she had not passed her test, she would have been kicked out. We did not know that. So, and we felt so bad because we did not realize how much stress she was under. And so we felt awful once we found out because, you know, it's like, there's nothing we could have done, of course, you know, nothing like that. But if she had not passed on Monday any of her tests that she had to do, she would have been kicked out. And in fact, one of the top girls there, okay, one of the top girls was kicked out that day, and that was her best friend that she made in the academy. Cheyenne makes best friends everywhere she goes. Everyone becomes her best friend because she's such a sweet girl. And look, isn't that perfect? 2 girls on the side and Ash, and look at that sticker. Isn't that perfect? I just love it so much. And so, so when she called, she was bawling her head off, you guys. She was bawling her head off because she goes, I passed. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And she goes, but my bestie didn't. But she was so stressed out that she ended up bursting into tears on the phone with me. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. She goes, I am so stressed out. So everything. And I just, you know, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I had no clue what she was going through. And she, you know, when you're just that stress and that relief that you finally did something, and then you just end up crying because you don't know what else to think or do or anything. That was her. And so she was so just, whew. And okay, so they had a 20-minute, she said a 20-minute driving instruction. And that's what they had. Well, then when they went to, it was 20 minutes and then they had to do the driving test. Well, her Cheyenne failed it the first time, and because she went over something, and I don't know, like 1 cone or something. So this is how stupid California is. California's a stupid state. I'm just telling you right now, it really is, because the rules they have here, unbelievable. Like I tell you guys, you have to have a background check plus 2 proofs of two proofs of residency just to buy bullets, you guys, just to buy 1 bullet. Okay, so I'm just it's just ridiculous. So anyways, but that's why we're moving out of state in a couple of years. So then so we're just tired of it. But and then the other thing is that our state, they're banning gas-powered mowers, lawnmowers, weed whackers, everything. So oh my gosh, you guys. So can you imagine how many gardeners are going to be, you know, hurting here? I'm like, no, it's just sad. But anyways, they but it is a stupid state. And so when it comes to the post exam too, they also and you know what, we're all entitled to our own opinions, okay? So seriously, it's okay. It's okay. And you can love California all you want, and that's cool. So, yes, thumbs down, I understand. But anyways, so they, her best friend failed because she missed a turn. You guys, she missed a turn. That was it. And she failed. 6 months, you guys. 6 months of being on the top. Being a top performer, everything. And she got kicked out because of her driving test that she missed a turn on. Can you believe how ridiculous that is? So Newark, the people that she was hired from, are so upset, and they have filed a complaint with the Post people because of how ridiculous that rule is. That's what it was. Cheyenne, and that's why Cheyenne failed the first time. Cheyenne failed the first time because when she went up to the stop, she went over the line by half a foot or so, like inches or so, and she failed. So yeah, that's how come she ended up failing the first time. So when she did it again, she was just like, she was just so freaking stressed. And yeah, so her little bestie got kicked out 2 weeks, 2 weeks, mind you guys, before graduation. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, Friday, so Monday, that was Monday, so Monday, and then she had one more test to take on Friday. And so we were, oh my gosh, Tim and I were, and Matt were so stressed, you guys. We were so unbelievably stressed because this test, she also needed to ace it in order for her to keep going, or for her to graduate. So this was the last test, and she had to pass it, or she would have to try and retake it. If, yeah, she would have been able to retake it, but you know, the stress of that alone. So she really wanted just to do it, finish it and be done with it, right? And so she ended up, so we were waiting and waiting. Her test was at 1. So I thought, you know, okay, maybe she'll call us by 3. Maybe she'll know by 3. And then it was like waiting, nothing. And then I finally texted Matt going, oh my God, have you heard anything? He goes, it's not going to be until tonight. And I go, what do you mean not till tonight? He goes, yeah. He goes, it probably won't be until like 10 or so because they're all doing their exam. And I'm like, but I thought it was at 1. He goes, no, it's an all-day test. And I'm like, because it's night scenarios. And I'm like, oh, so then I'm rereading these books for what, the 3rd time, I think. And so we were like, oh no. So then at 10:20, I get a phone call, and Cheyenne, she goes, hello, who is this? And she goes, this is Officer Schneider calling. And we were like, no. So we started screaming. We were like, no way. So I said, hold on, let me put your dad, because Tim has been at work for 5-6 days, I think, 7 days, and he hasn't been home in a while. And she says, I said, let me get him on the phone on the 3-way. So I called him, and then it was quiet. So he's like, what? And so he was panicking too. And then Cheyenne tells him the same thing. Hello, this is Officer Schneider. And now Tim's like, no way. And so, oh my gosh. So we were all screaming on the phone, you guys. So she did it, you guys. She's done. She passed. She's an actual police officer now. My daughter is a police officer. Isn't that freaking amazing? And oh my gosh, you guys, talk about proud. Woo, proud. And so her graduation is this Friday. Her party is on. Okay guys, sorry, my battery went dead. So I had to take a break and recharge it. So it's not fully charged, but I'm hoping it was enough. It was about an hour. So, but anyways, I think we were talking about the Food and Wine Festival. I'm thinking that's what we were doing, but I'm not positive, but I think we were, and yes, and so Tim, and we're talking about the airline, I think we did, and so, but anyways, we ended up salvaging it, meeting a really nice woman, and having a great time with her, and just, it was fun. We ended up having a great time. We ended up really having a great time. So it ended up starting off cruddy, but then it ended up by the afternoon and me meeting Rita and everything else. It was so much better. Once I went to the fabric store and met Rita and was talking to her and just shopping, everything turned around for me. I ended up having more of a positive attitude, and I stopped being frustrated, and it was great. And then we ended up having a good time. Tim and I went exploring a little bit as much as we could, things like that. So it was, it ended up being a perfect afternoon, and that was awesome. And then the next day, we went to Disney's California Adventure, and we ended up doing the Food and Wine Festival and walking around, and we just had a blast. We really did, and I can't wait to. And then the kids, only 2 of my 3 kids, which is Matt and Shai, are we're going to do the Oogie Boogie Bash in Disneyland when it opens up. So and then we're trying to convince Matt, because all I had to do is ask my husband. My husband's not really keen to it, but my husband will do anything in the world for me, so he said fine. But we're Cheyenne and I were like, let's do the Scooby-Doo gang. And so I said, Dad can be Shaggy, we'll get Matt, we'll have Matt be Fred and get him a wig, and then you can be Daphne and I'll be Velma. And we were like, and then I said, I'll get a Scooby-Doo doll, and when Dad will have his backpack, and then we'll put Scooby in the backpack hanging out. And so we were like, so we already have our costumes planned and everything else, and so I think we're going to be doing that this year, you guys. And we have never really done that before, because Tim and I are not, we're just not fun people. We're introverts, and we just want to keep our butt home, and but we haven't done that since the kids are little. And okay, so I'll tell you what, we were the first ones to ever do the Oogie Boogie Bash, and it was like $20 for a ticket, and now I think it's like $200. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, the ticket price. But so we're hoping to do that though, as us 4 to go out and do that. So that should be fun. But we got a lot of stuff planned, and hopefully we can do that. And then yeah. So Cheyenne, I believe I told you, I was telling you about how Cheyenne, so today is Monday night, and I'll be uploading this Tuesday, and she will graduate Friday. Her party is Saturday, and Wednesday is her pinning on ceremony at the police department. So yeah, so it's going to be a full week, you guys, and I'll tell you what, I am so looking forward to Saturday, or Friday and Saturday, but Saturday too, because then it can be over. Because this party is the most expensive party I have ever done in my life for my kids. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, the cost is rising and rising, and it's just funny. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So because we're not doing a potluck, because she didn't want to do a potluck. But then I have this fear of people not being able, of people not eating, of not having enough food. And so I have gone overboard. And yeah, you guys, I have gone overboard. And today I was like, we don't have enough dessert. So today I catered, I had them do the catering with crumbles, and they're doing the mini cookies. So I bought 50 mini cookies. That way they can be on the dessert tray, on the dessert thing. Cheyenne made me peanut butter balls this day. I have a friend who makes them really, really good, but she doesn't share. She doesn't share. So I'm like, it's okay. So Cheyenne felt, you know, I was telling Cheyenne, yeah, I didn't get any. So she's like, I'll make you some. So then she came over and she made me some. So isn't that the sweetest? It's just the best girl ever. So, and then me and her, we've gone shopping last Saturday and this Saturday, and we're talking like shopping like Savers, you know. We're not talking like, you know, Saks Fifth Avenue or anything. And so we ended up she found her dress at the, we did go to the mall, and she found her dress at the mall, and that was cool. And yeah, she's ready. She's ready for the party. She's ready to be graduated. She's ready to start work. So she's also very, very nervous too. So, you know, and which you can't blame her for that. That's Dory in her tongue. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. So yeah. So everything is coming along, you guys. Everything is coming along. And so it's just getting ready for the party has been hard, because Tim has been Tim has been home. So we got to do the LA trip, and then he's been at work ever since. So yeah, so he has not been home at all. And then he did take time off. He like took no overtime and did all that stuff, and he was home for 3 days. 3 days. He took 3 days, and he didn't go to work at all. And he fixed what needed to be fixed with our house for the party. And so he worked his butt off. He worked his butt off, you guys, honestly, for 3 days straight, from sunup to sundown. And then he had to go back to work, and he's been at work ever since. So I think today's day 7. I'm not sure. But he gets to come home tomorrow, and then he's going to be off for a few days. So, you know, he's going to be off for quite a few days. So, which I'm thankful for, because the dude needs it. He needs to sleep. He needs to be with me. He needs to be with the puppies. You know, we need to see him. We miss him. So, but yeah, he hasn't been home. So, but he got a lot of stuff done in those 3 days, and it was crazy how much he did. So, and he paid for it. His body was like, huh, yeah, you're kind of too old for this, dude. You know, for this young man stuff. And so he did we have an acre, and he did yard work. And the yard work took him 3 days to do, because it was pretty crazy. The weeds were as tall as he was, and he's 6'2". So you can imagine how tall those weeds are with all the rain that we've gotten in California. It got to be a lot, and so it just kept growing and growing. And so yeah, so but he got it done. And the kids came over yesterday and Sunday and took everything to the dump. So they did a dump run for us, because we needed it dumped from the trailer. So yeah. So Tim's like, I need a riding lawnmower, and I'm like, yeah, you do. So, because we have an acre, and you know, it gets pretty crazy out there. If you don't stay on top of things, it really does. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's look in. So we're looking at Marketplace and stuff like that to see if we can find one used. So hopefully we do. But yeah. So anyway, so that's what's been going on, you guys. It's just been a whirlwind of everything happening, and I've been quilting, and I was going to do a floss tube, and I have everything ready to do a floss tube, but then Tim ended up not being home, and I wanted him to be home to hold up the quilts for me. You won't see him, but he'll be the one holding up the quilts for me, so I can show you what I've been making and everything else. But he hasn't been home, and when he was home, he was only home and doing the work, and so we didn't get to really be together. And so yeah, so hopefully this well, we'll see when I can get to it. I want to do it. I want to get that going, but it's just, yeah, it's just no time. But I'm hoping to come back and do another layout before the end of the week, but honestly, guys, I just don't know. It's going to be a whirlwind here until Sunday, when we can actually, we told ourselves, okay, Sunday, we're going to have leftovers, and we're going to eat in our chonies, and we're going to watch TV on the bed, just me and him and the puppies, and that is what we're going to do. We're going to do that on Sunday and decompress and just take a moment, because boy, oh boy, do we need it. So yeah, so let me say thank you to Tammy Moore, Christina Folk, Barbara Haish, and Liz Yunkin. Barbara, have you read Christine Feehan's motorcycle? It's like, what is it, like Road? She has Recovery Road, all of them, all the roads. They kind of suck, but you may like them. I'm not sure. They're just that writing. Those books have been so awful. So, but I own them all because I have to own everything she puts out, and so. But yeah, they're not that great. They're just one of them is so ridiculous that I just that will forever be in my head on how ridiculous that book was. That was just like the downhill spiral for me with her books when it came to the motorcycle club. So But yeah, but the RH books, I'm glad you guys had to look it up too, because I didn't know what it was until I discovered it on Facebook. And you guys, I am reading a book a day. I am reading a book a day. I am so addicted to the RH books right now. I just loving them. So when I do, you know how I do my books like this? Well, pretty much for the week, it's going to be up to here. So what I'm going to plan on doing is doing the insert and putting them all in the insert, because there's too many of them. And I'm doing a book a day. So then it would be 7 of them. And so I would only have 1 for that. So that's why they're going to be in an insert. Probably when I discovered them, I think was in like November, December, sometime like that. And then so ever since then it'll be, yeah. And I'm on book 4 right now, on a 5-book one. And I'm just like, I gotta do stuff around the house. I really do. So I said, no, I'm not reading until tonight. And so I'm going to try and limit my reading, because it's been addicting. I have been so addicted to freaking reading. I got no time for that though, but I'm addicted. That's what addiction is. But anyways, guys, this is fun talking to you. Really fun talking to you. Yeah, thank you for, you know, telling Cheyenne that, you know, well wishes and stuff, and congratulations and stuff. And yeah, so you spell her name C-H-I-Y, and that's Shy. That's how we spell her nickname is C-H-I-Y. So yeah, so all right guys, we'll see y'all later. Bye.